Hi guys, welcome again to Fit Rich Sane. I know all of you want to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. I am Aditya, and I bring to you people who resonate with us on topics that we love and people who have researched these topics in extreme depth. You can listen to them as we discuss here, and if you're attending this live, you can ask them questions. To find out about the next episode in advance, you can follow me on Twitter and at Telegram. We will simplify various processes for you, bringing them down to small, actionable steps that you can start taking today. For today's episode, we are lucky to have with us Anudeepika Jain, the founder of Life Excellence Hub. As we will go through today's session, you will realize that Anudeepika is among the most positive and the most practical people you will meet. By the end of this session, by the end of this live podcast, you will learn what is keeping you from living each moment positively and how you can channel that burning desire for which you will want to wake up very early every morning. As I've already mentioned earlier, Anudipika quit her Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Amazon jobs to help working professionals go through mind reprogramming. In just a few months, she has impacted a few hundred individuals today. So, again, thank you all of you for joining us and thank you for your constant support in all my endeavors. So, coming to the lady of the hour, Anu, most people around us have this blind routine where they go to office, they get a salary, they send that salary, and if you ask them why they are doing this job or why they need this money or why they are doing this leisure, they will just tell you that this is the way it is. So Anudipika, what made you go deeper into your why, and what made you go so deep into your why that you quit your very cushy job?
Yeah. Thank you, Aditya, for sharing this question. So, around 3 years back, I was working with a top US tech company and I was leading their public policy function. And everything seemed to be going really well for me. And as you rightly said, I was going into this routine of earning money, doing something, some things working out, something not working out. Now, what started, what forced me rather to look into my why was this. In my life experiences, I started noticing that no matter what I'm doing, I'm not being able to feel this peak happiness that we generally do when we go for a travel, we go to with our families, we go for some events, something that we really enjoy. That sense of enjoyment had started going away from my life. And somewhere I realized that I've also become very distant from my own emotions. I was not aware of what I want today. That is it. If I ask many of you today, what do you want? What is that one thing would you want in your life if a genie appears today? Would you have an answer? Most of us won't. And that made me go into this journey of knowing my why. And by my why, it was just to know what do I really want and what do I want from me for next 5 years down the line. Do I want to continue what I'm doing, or is it something really, really more beautiful that I want to build for myself? So yes, that was the reason.
Just slightly off the topic, I see a few people raising their hands. As you know, we'll take questions at the end of the session. So I would request you to just note them down. You can message them on the group if you want, but we'll take them at once at the end so that we don't break the flow. So now, Anu, that is how you found your why. What I have personally struggled with, so this is one of the reasons we chose this session today. We chose the topic of Ikigai today because that is something I have myself struggled with a lot, and I know many others are in the same boat. What I have found is that money, we keep saying that we are working for money, but money is a motivator only to a certain extent. There comes a time in your life where you feel you have decent amount of money for a decent life and you will keep earning that forever maybe, but that stops pushing you to improve your life. Health and family are two motivators that I feel most people start valuing only when it starts deteriorating. We don't care about our health until we fall sick. So if it's not money, if it's not family, if it's not health, then what is it that I can look for in myself that will make me make that substantial effort? We keep saying that finding your why is important, but if I'm not able to find that why, which many of us struggle with, what do you think the problems are that people face?
Yeah. So as you rightly said, that most of us, we are seeking money, we are seeking career, we are seeking some kind of designation, I would say, some significance in the society. And it's very easy for us to neglect some other important areas of our life. See, the one thing that I want to say is very important. That is, we need to think of our lives in multidimensional angles. Many of the times, our goals are always focused on one area of your life. So imagine you're in a car and the car has four tires. Now, if one tire is punctured, your car will stop moving. The same thing happens in our life. These four tires, what I call a 4D life, comprises health, relationships, finances, and career. So when we are making our goals, when we are making our life vision, so to say, it needs to take care of all the four dimensions. So that is point one. The second point that you said, that what stops people from actually figuring out what their life is, the main reason is this: we are pursuing the mean goals instead of the end goals, right? As you said, money is something which is leading to something. You want money. Why? Maybe you want to live a very comfortable life where you want to give all comforts to your family. You want to make a name for yourself. You may be seen as somebody important in your circles. That is the reason why you want money, right? Money as a whole, like if I say you have 1 crore rupees today, that has no value till you don't make something out of it. So instead of looking at our means, it's more important to understand what kind of experiences do I want to have in my life. Do I want to, I mean, some examples, like for me, how I figured out my why. I was very clear that every day when I wake up, I should feel that I'm creating some impact on somebody somewhere. It can be through technology, it can be through mind coaching, it can be through maybe just gestures that I just some beautiful gestures that I can make, making somebody feel loved. But that was my experience that I wanted to build. So ask yourself, for people who do not know their why, forget about why. Ask yourself, what kind of experiences excite me? What kind of experiences do I want to have in my life? So that would be the step one, I would say.
So that brings me to a good point. There's something we have discussed in our Telegram group earlier, that so we talk mostly about money, as you know, and there's something we have discussed, that at the end of the day, you have to do something with money. Ultimately, money can only be spent. There's only so much you can save, you can invest, you can make it grow, but that has to be a means goal. That cannot be your end goal. I'm sure at the end of the day, when you die at, let's say, 100 of years of age, if you are healthy enough, at that point, it will not give you enough pleasure if you have 100 crore in the bank. It will give you definitely more happiness if you have experiences worth that 100 crore.
True.
And another thing that I really resonated with that you said is that I read a statistic somewhere in some book that I don't remember, that you talked about being multidimensional, about being in all facets of your life equally and understands all facets of your life. And I read somewhere somebody did a research on suicide rates, and it was found that most people who commit suicide, they have a single identity. They are either a student, or they are a dancer, or they are a friend, or they are an engineer. And the kind of world we are living in, it's so dynamic that any single thing can go at any point. If you are, even if you're the best engineer today, technology might change at such a rapid rate that you might find yourself struggling tomorrow. So it's very important to have a complete identity. Do not restrict yourself to any one thing. That is very important. And personally, I noticed, especially early in life, that you should say yes to many things. Do as many things as you can. Somebody says that they're going for some social service event, you go for it. Somebody says they are recording a podcast, you want to do it, you go for it. Somebody says they were going for an investment session, you go for it. Somebody's going to the gym, you join them. Eventually, of course, you will start understanding what keeps you more happy, what makes you happier. But the starting point has to be going through all these dimensions together. Which brings us to the main question of for today, for which everybody I'm sure has been waiting. In your words, Anudeepika, what is Ikigai?
So I'll definitely share in my words what it means. But before that, I would like to touch upon that what is Ikigai? Generally, what is Ikigai seen as? So Ikigai is a combination of two words, Iki and Gai. Iki being alive, Gai being worth. So Ikigai is a life, a worthy life. Okay. And of course, all these different philosophies that have been shared through books, through speakers. There are multiple people who have worked on Ikigai, and all ideas are focused on the modalities to build a life which is worthy. Now, in my opinion, what Ikigai is? In my opinion, Ikigai is not a destination. Ikigai is more of it's an experience that you have on day-to-day life by being in the moment, because you cannot appreciate the worth of a life till you do not become present to it. A very small example: if you're having a meal and you're watching a TV, and I give you the tastiest meal of the earth, if you like say chole bhature, or you like your salad, and I give it to you and you're watching the TV, you won't notice that salad, and won't notice that chole bhature. It will be so easy to forget those experiences and just get immersed into the TV in front of you, because you were not present. Same thing, if you are hungry for 6 hours and I give you same salad or same chole bhature in front of you, you'll relish it. It will be the happiest meal you've ever had, the tastiest meal you've ever had. So to me, that is Ikigai. And uh, if you wish, I can discuss about.
Well, I loved how the two examples of food you gave were chole bhature and salad at the two ends of the world. And this brings me to another research that I read about being in the moment. It's clear the research headline was slightly controversial. It's clearly stated that people who say that they're multitasking, they're clearly lying. As simple as that. Because even as the example Anudeepika gave, when you're eating and watching TV, there is no instant where you're doing both things together. You might be switching between them very fast. One instant you are watching, and the second instant you are looking at your food. But there's no way you're doing these things together. So that is why, yes, I agree that being in the moment is the most important thing. But even then, the West has this concept of finding your why, and the Japanese have this concept of ikigai. Is there a difference, or are these very similar concepts?
Yeah. See, Ikigai, as I said, is a worthy life, the meaning. Now, West came with this entire philosophy that there are 4 questions that you need to answer for yourself. The first question being, what do I love to do? The second question being, what am I good at? The third question is, what does the world need? And the fourth question is, can I get paid for what I'm good at? Now, if you notice, the first 2 questions are self-focused. What do I love? What I'm good at? But the other 2 questions are world-focused. That will I get paid for it? Does the world need it? So the Western philosophy combines self and worth. Okay, and that is where then this entire concept of finding your purpose, finding your passion falls, which makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, if you yeah okay at the end of the day, if you are good at something but you feel that the world doesn't need it, or you're not being able to add value because of that, you will not feel fulfilled. And that is where again the self-worth and the worth of your life starts decreasing. So this is a Western concept. The Japanese concept comes into mindfulness. In their world, it's more about self. They believe that if you are at the moment, if you're in the present moment, and if you're living things mindfully, you will feel so happy and fulfilled that you would not need to look beyond that. And that is why I feel that somewhere the beauty lies in a combination of the two. That it's good to have that clarity, that what you are good at, what you and how you can create impact in the world. So it's combining your passion, your impact, and potential. And the second part is, once you have that clarity, enjoying what you do on day to day life. Instead of being focused on the goal, be focused in the process, enjoy the process. Automatically, you will start achieving all that you wanted to. So, yes, that's the difference also. And that's also a way to amalgamate both to get the best out of both worlds.
Guys, keep taking notes. So much knowledge being shared here. And I'm sure, as you can understand, when we are discussing a topic as deep as finding your ikigai, such a life changing topic, you have to understand that it's about taking notes, it's about understanding what you can do today. And of course, as you know, as Fitrit Sen has always been, as we move through the session, we'll discuss actionable steps, because you know this and I know this, that there is plenty of knowledge and gyan available everywhere today. But the problem is that we are not able to implement it. We are not able to take action on it. So of course we'll move towards action also. Now coming towards the action part, what do you think is the first step we should take today, Anudeepika, to find our ikigai? Because no matter how much we understand what it is, I hope you guys are really taking notes. But even if we understand what it is, ultimately the benefit part will come when we know how to find ours and how to really move towards it and move in alignment with our ikigai.
Okay. So the first step that I would say, and it may sound a bit counterintuitive, it is to learn to calm yourself, to ground yourself. What do I mean by that? By that, I just mean you need to become more observant about your thoughts. um, Imagine that there's a like your brain is like a road on which there are multiple cars running, and just on the opposite side of the road there's a beautiful house you want to reach. Now if you want to reach that house, you will have to overcome that traffic. So the easiest way to reach that house is when there is no traffic, maybe early in the morning or maybe late at night. The same thing applies to your thoughts and the way you see yourself. So I believe that starting your journey with a meditation, be it 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation every day, is very important, where you focus on coming to present and removing this traffic. Okay, so that is step one. The step two is asking yourself tough questions. The number one question that you need to ask yourself is, what are the experiences that I want to have? As I said earlier, focus on the experiences that you want to build for yourself in your life. And it is not, don't think about whether I have enough money or not, whether I have enough capability or not that. Just think of what. Don't look at how. Once you have done that, the third step is, what kind of growth do I need to reach those experiences? By growth, I mean what kind of identity I need to build for myself. And that is where this entire question of Ikigai comes into being, that what am I good at and what does the world need? When you start combining these two, it becomes really, really easy for you to actually leverage your strengths. But you can only leverage your strengths when you have the right incentives. And what are those incentives? The clarity of the experiences that you want to have for yourself. So that these are the three steps that I think you should start your journey with. And the other important point is being consistent in observing. See, you won't have your ready answers. The first day when you start doing, you'll be like, either you'll have too many answers, too many ideas, or you'll have none. So that is why asking this question every day, trust me, it's like digging a well into your core. The more you do, the easier you will reach your inner voice, or your higher self, where all these answers are hidden. So yes, that's a process I would recommend for everyone.
I'll just tell you the same answer in our language that we understand, because we understand the language of investing more. So if you, whenever any of you, you can just put yourself in these shoes and think, whenever you first thought that you want to invest your money, I'm sure it opened a sea for you. You must have seen hundreds and thousands of options with absolutely no idea of your next step. And slowly, when you would have seen 100 videos and read 500 blogs, then you would have started understanding what kind of an investor you are. If there are three people in this room today, all three have very different investment tactics and investment behaviors. The only difference between the investing journey and the Ikigai journey, I believe, and Anudipika, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that for investing, you start with other people's ideas. And to find your Ikigai, you have to look within yourself. You have to ground yourself. You have to start living each moment. And then that will make you realize, like in investing, you realize which investment suits you better, not just the one with the highest return, but the one which actually makes you sleep better. Similarly, with Ikigai, once you start taking everything mindfully, do I like this session? Do I like this group? Do I like talking about investments? Do I like driving? Whatever it is. Do I like talking to people? Do I like being alone in my own space? Once you do that again and again and again and again, then you will reach a stage where you actually feel that you are right. This is the pattern which keeps me the happiest. There are times in my life where, let's say, sometimes, as you know, sometimes I share my investment picks. So whenever I find a new strategy, I fail to sleep after that until and unless I backtest it and I really go through it, until and unless I either discard it, or I understand not just if it's a good strategy or a bad strategy, but I understand how I can apply it in my current investments. Only then I am able to sleep. And similarly, once you find that ikigai within yourself, then you will get that passion that where you will not want to sleep at night, and in the morning, as soon as your alarm rings, you'll want to get up because you want to go further in this journey. But that said, Anu, there are also moments where I won't say moments, actually, there are weeks and weeks where I don't feel motivated. Motivation is absolutely perishable. Today, I might feel very motivated about something, and the next hour, I can feel, and I'm sure this happens to everybody. The next hour, I can feel that the motivation is gone, and I just want to sit in my bed having Cheetos and watching Netflix. So, how do I keep this motivation up? Can this motivation be kept up permanently, or is there and some other way to go through the effort of trying to improve your life?
Yeah. So the first point is, I would like to answer your second question first. That is, can the motivation be up all the time? And then my clear answer to that is no, it can't be. And we have to accept that. If you see, nature works in cycles, right? You have different seasons. Similarly, you are also working in cycles. So some days your motivation will be really, really up. Some days you won't feel like anything, doing anything. And it's fine. You don't need to resist it. But then the question is that if that is a thing, then how do I come back to my motivated self? And the answer to that is following two things. One, routine. Two, big why. So first of all, you need to form a routine around your day. Even if these are simplest of the things that you need to do. Even if you have a 10 minutes routine, it's really good, no problem. Because when you do that, somehow you are sending signals to your brain that you like doing something over and over and over again, and your brain will stop associating that with incentives. It will become a habit. So that is one point. The second point is big why, which by that I just mean, again, going to the experiences, have a vision for your life. Like, for example, investments. Supposing you have a goal of earning 5 lakhs a month passively through your investments. Now, if that is your goal, ask yourself, what will I do with those 5 lakhs? And create a beautiful story around it. So, for example, the story around for me would be, if I earn 5 lakhs per month consecutively for 3 months, passively through investments, I will be going for a luxurious trip to Kerala, to Wayanad, maybe with my family. We are on island. We are having great time together. Creating an epic story and reading that epic story every day will really help you stay driven, even those days when you're not feeling like, right. So these are the two things: routine and big why, which will help you stay motivated on not so good days. Yeah.
It's amazing how when you talk to anybody, you can always relate it to your life experiences as well and things you have learned in the past. So I'm sure, Anudeepika, you must have seen it, and many of our guests also. A few years back, this video went viral where somewhere in US, this very senior person from their army, he was at the speech, giving a speech in some college, and somebody asked him, "What is your number one way to success?" And he said, in 3 words, "Make your bed." And he said, make your bed every morning. When you wake up in the morning, no matter what happens, you make your bed, you fold your sheets, you tuck in your pillow, and then you get up, because that's how your day starts. That's how you signal to your brain that you want to stay put in that routine and you want to have a successful day without laziness and without procrastination. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before. There's this guy called Tim Ferriss. He is one of the most famous bloggers from US. And there's one thing that he said in one of his podcasts. So his podcasts are 3-4 hours long. And there's one thing that I really picked up from that, which something you said, and I really related to it, that discipline does not lead you to restrictions. Discipline leads you to freedom. Only somebody who wakes up at 5 in the morning with discipline can tell you that it's not a restriction that he's waking up at 5. The freedom that he gets for the rest of the day justifies it. He doesn't feel bad about waking up at 5 because he knows that the days he does not wake up in the morning, throughout the day he is restricted because he's just playing catch up. And when you develop that routine, It does not have to be waking up at 5. Whatever it is, be it making your bed, be it waking up at 5, be every day you record if you want to go into public speaking. It's a very simple process. You record a YouTube video of yourself every day, be it 1 minute, be it 5 minutes, and you watch it. In 1 month, there is absolutely no scope that you wouldn't have improved. You will 100% have improved. Now, some people can call it restrictive. Some people can say that they are restricting themselves to making this video every day. Or more intelligent people and more aware people like you and like us will say that it is bringing us the freedom to become better public speakers.
So true. And one very important point again is we see we think in absolute angles. We are trying to understand, we're trying to seek everything in our life from just few things. Okay. For example, in your routine, some days you, for example, if you want to lose weight, some days the workout goes really well, other days it's not. Now your entire life starts depending on that. Oh, I didn't do it well. We are being perfectionist, and you feel like not doing it again the next day because you didn't feel good enough. But as I said, your life is multidimensional. Try to see what good you can extract from all different areas of your life. So if in your workout you just want to celebrate that you are disciplined enough, maybe the sense of accomplishment comes from something other than that. Maybe you followed a diet routine which you love doing, right? So try to think in a more multidimensional way and don't try to seek everything from one part of your day. That also overwhelms us over the time.
That brings me to one of the most maybe famous and maybe also little cliched motivational quotes, that if every morning you are given 24,000 rupees and for some reason you waste 1,000 rupees or they get stolen, will you throw the other 23,000 also? Probably not. You'll probably want to enjoy with it. You'll probably want to invest it or use it for your leisure or for anything. Similarly, every morning you're given 24 hours. Now, for some reason, if you did not like your morning workout, or if you were not able to wake up early in the morning, or if you were, for some reason, you had a fight with your family or your neighbors, there is absolutely no reason to waste the other 23 hours thinking about it. Consider time like money. The moment you start considering time equivalent to money, you will realize that just because a little bit of it got wasted or stolen by somebody does not mean that you will throw the entire thing. Which brings us to the most important question, which we always bring in this group, be it a podcast or be it a text. What is the one thing that you would suggest, Anudeepika, that the members who are listening to us right now, what is the one thing that they should do after this session today that will help them take one step towards finding their Ikigai?
Okay, I'll go back to my first advice that I'd given when we started this session. Number one is write your experiences, what experiences you want to have, and score yourself against those experiences. Am I being able to live those experiences? So, for example, if you take a score of 0 to 10, so 0 being I'm nowhere close, 5 being I'm making some effort, I think I'm moving in that direction, 8 to 10 being I'm very close or I'm living those experiences. Rate yourself, so that way it will give you a very clear picture of what you really want in your life and where you are at right now. And it is nothing to worry about, it is just to give you a directional approach towards how you can build your life. And yeah, and then the other parts regarding what you need to do to make yourself closer to those ideal experiences, that is where Ikigai's other questions will come into picture. That is there something, am I good at certain things which need to be linked with my growth areas, which will help me live those experiences. I'll just take 1 minute to share one very important example that I had found in the book Almanac of Neville Ravikant. He gave a very, very beautiful example that when he was when he was a child, he loved sci-fi, science tech, and all those things, like all those movies where there was these aliens and all that. And over the time, he realized that he likes to have these new experiences and he likes to read about new things and get a crux out of that. Now, as he grew up, he started combining that with his skill set. So if you notice, he's an investor into now. He invested into Uber when Uber was just starting, and today Uber has been doing really well over the period of time. And he picked up all these small tech startups. He started investing in them, and he saw them grow, and then he would exit. So he applied that skill of being able to go through diverse topics, getting a crux out of it, and applying it into real life where he can find investments and all that. So sometimes we think that we are good at some skill, but we feel it's not applicable, but that's not the case. So if you try to see closely, you'll find a lot of patterns which will help you live your ideal experiences. And another important point, just I know I've already mentioned, please do try to practice meditation every day, 5 days or 10 minutes. In fact, I was just telling Aditya that for this community, I would love to share a recorded 10 minutes meditation that you can try for yourself every day, and try to do it consistently for 10, 11 days and feel for yourself how present you feel in the moment. And I will also share a list of questions that you can answer to introspect, to go deep within you, to know your why.
I don't know how many of you have read this book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant that Anudeepika mentioned. But if there is one book that you will read in life, make it this one. It's a very short, hardly a 100-page book. It will take you barely a couple of hours. But the wisdom that has been shared in this is amazing. One particular quote that I have always tried to follow in life is Naval says that he does not just want to earn money, he wants to earn money in such a way that if 1000 times you throw him penniless into an English speaking country, he will emerge a millionaire from it. So it's not just about randomly trying to earn money and just hoping that you fall into money in some way. More important is creating that process that will make you help you make money from absolutely anything. Coming back to you, Anudipika, one thing that I'm sure everybody wants to know is, as I mentioned, and as everybody knows by now, that you have had some very amazing jobs before this. You were in Uber, you were in Amazon, you worked with the central government of India. Now, between then and now, where you are just helping people reach their goals through mind reprogramming, what are the changes you have seen in yourself? I'm sure that will really inspire a few people here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a beautiful journey, and a lot of changes I've gone through, but the top ones would be: number one, I've become much more connected with my inner voice. I never feel lost. I may be confused, I may feel that whether this is right or not, but I have this confidence that whenever I look inward, I'll find my answer. That is one. Second is the sense of fulfillment. I feel that today I have a freedom to work, to get money because of my skills, not because of my time. I'm a public policy advisor to government today as well, but I'm being paid for my skills, not because I have to not because I have to stay for 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours in a company, not like that. So that is one, the freedom and the sense of fulfillment, because I choose to do that, because somewhere I believe there's an impact that's been created through that. Even through Life Excellence Hub, 150 plus people now today we have on our platform, and all these people, the sense of fulfillment that I get is that I know that they are also learning to connect with themselves, to find their path, and to get their answers. I think that is the biggest strength any human can have, and I feel really, really thankful that I'm a channel for that. So these are the two primary changes that I've seen during this journey.
So that's correct. When you, I don't know how many of you are in businesses, how many of you are self employed, and how many are working in a job. But one thing that I realized with my businesses is that, yes, it's a lot of freedom. There's no doubt about it. You get to choose your hours, you get to choose your days, you get to choose your weeks, even at times. But never forget that with great power comes great responsibility. This freedom also leads to the other side where at times you go days and days without motivation. With a job, you will mostly have a deadline. You will mostly have colleagues pushing you towards completing your task. But the moment you don't have those colleagues, that boss, that deadline, it becomes very easy to not do anything for weeks also. And so don't forget that with this freedom, that freedom you're looking for, first learn the responsibility. Do not try to get the freedom first. There's this very famous quote that when you're excellent in everything. If you say that you are not doing X thing well because that is not your prime interest, what you will do Y thing well, you're mostly fooling yourself. Until and unless you make excellence a habit, it doesn't work out. So anybody who is looking to start a business later in life or to become self-employed, or even if they're looking for their ikigai, the first thing I would recommend is whatever your life situation is currently, don't forget that you might not be able to control your circumstances, your environment, but 100% of the times you can control your reaction to it. Control your reaction. First, become responsible. If you are telling yourself or your family and friends that you will start waking up early when you start your business, or you will start spending more time in office, you will start spending more time on work once you are following your passion. I'm sorry, that's not how this works. Until and unless you can start doing that today, you will not be able to do that tomorrow. And that is the biggest mistake you can do, that you get into a business before getting into the mindset of business. As we learn with investments, as I've always said, it's very easy to find a multi-bagger. It's very easy to know what strategy will bring you good returns. There are various free platforms on the internet where you can backtest various strategies. But first, you develop the mindset of a good trader, of a good investor, and then you can become a trader or an investor. Same way as Anudeepika said, first you become responsible for yourself. First, you become mindful of what you're doing, and only then you will be able to understand or realize what really resonates with you and what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more to what Aditya said. And another important thing is that we talk about passion and purpose. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe because it's an external environment, we've got wired that way. We feel starting a startup is the only way to feel our passion. But the fact is, even in your job, even in your day-to-day life, you may be living your purpose, because purpose again has a lot of nuances to it. So there's no need to jump into the conclusion that you want to start something new. Before that, try to understand today where you are, what you love doing, what you not love doing. Maybe in your current profession only, when you start feeling really good, I say this in an energy world, what you give you attract. When you start feeling good, you start appreciating what you are doing, automatically the things that you really love doing will start coming to you more. So yes, be mindful of your emotions, and as Aditya said, try to create that mindset in yourself. Try to inculcate those emotions, those mindsets, which make you feel much more clear on your path, be it your investments, be your life, whatever it is, and that will help you take your next steps.
So, Anudipika wants us to go through a small exercise that we'll do together right now, just to get a feel of how we should go ahead with this. And then after that, we'll move to the questions and answers.
Yeah. So I'm assuming all of you are in your seated position. So keep your spine straight and keep your eyes open, and place your eyes in a soft gaze at whatever point your eyes falls on. Just a soft gaze. You don't need to stare at it. Bring your awareness just behind your eyes and start breathing in deeply and exhaling through your mouth. Breathing in again. And as you exhale, please close your eyes. Keep your awareness behind your eyes and keep breathing deeply and observe what thoughts are coming to your mind. Let them be. Just observe. Now bring your awareness to the contact between your body and the chair. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Breathe. And now take your left hand, place it on your chest, and right hand, place it on your belly. And now, as you breathe in, just observe that your belly is expanding and then your chest is expanding. And as you breathe out, your chest is going down and your belly is going down. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just keep your awareness on your breath and the movement of your chest and your stomach. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep doing this at your own pace. And now, gently bring your awareness back to the contact between your body and the chair. Bring your awareness to the center of your head, just behind your eyes. And gently and slowly, you can open your eyes.
I did not know that you have such a calming voice. At least for one, for I can speak for myself, I feel so refreshed, like I've just taken a long nap. And I sincerely hope that all you guys experienced the calmness that I did. I'm not saying this just because I'm on this side of the mic, but honestly, this was extremely calming. I almost want to. Who wish I'll just listen to this recording every day, I guess.
Thank you.
Anyway, so I think we'll end our discussion here. And to share the biggest takeaway, for which I would like to thank Anu for today, is that everything that you do, be it eating, be it walking, be it using your phone, even if you're scrolling and watching reels on Instagram, be in the moment, do that, and only then move to something else. Enjoy that moment most of all. Multitasking is a myth, it does not work. Being in the moment will slowly and eventually tell you what you like and what you don't like. And just to top it off with a small experience of my own, sometimes that what I do is, of course, see, social media addiction happens to everyone. Even when I'm scrolling through social media, there are times when I'm slightly also feeling guilty about it. Those are the times, ironically, where I continue for a longer time, where even though I'm feeling guilty, but I won't stop scrolling.
I'm also a victim of that, yes.
Right. And when you feel that, okay, fine, I'm scrolling and it's okay, this is my leisure time and I will scroll, at that point, I end up being bored with it earlier. So I get back to my work earlier than if I keep feeling guilty and I keep thinking about when I will stop. So thank you for that very important note. And of course, follow Fitrit Sane on Twitter and Telegram for many more such enlightening conversations. Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll keep sharing actionable tips and stay in touch.